I actually expected. So let me sum this up. So on this road trip, we won in Orlando, we lost in Philly, we won in Charlotte, we won in New York, and we just won in Brooklyn. What a successful. That's probably the best trip that we've had all year long. That Philly one was bullshit. Now we're starting to really pile up these W's in a really, really nice way. Dante, what's going on? What up, Dante? Is this space tripping or something? Oh my god. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, what's going
Yeah,
on?
Twitter be tripping sometimes, man. They be doing that weird ass shit. But I
Yeah.
ain't. But I ain't gonna code you. I ain't updated my Twitter, and this is crazy. But I ain't updated my Twitter in literally 7 years. I'm not even exaggerating. I still got Twitter. I ain't even got X. Anyways, shout
Yeah.
out to my team. You feel me? You see my boy Steph out there? You feel me? You know my goat. You know how he doing. You know how he doing. Hey, listen. Some people. Hey, real talk. I ain't even mean to go on a tangent, but people gotta start putting some respect on Steph Curry name. Niggas was calling my son was washed. Niggas be disrespecting Steph. This is why this nigga's the best player of this generation. No disrespect to these other lame ass niggas, but real talk. Think about what he's doing. He's 6'2" and some change, dominating the game from distance. Do you know how hard it is to dominate the game from the perimeter? Let alone he's taking the hardest percentage shot. No matter how many threes is put up in this era, it is still the lowest percentage shot and it's the toughest percentage shot. Niggas think I'm laughing because that bitch ass nigga dick riding down there and he gotta listen. But the truth is the matter is this. You're doing this, you're playing in a tougher conference, and guess what? You don't have 8 years where you only play one first team all NBA player, and that was the first year you joined a super team. That you don't have that situation. You gotta go against first team all NBA players, maybe back to back rounds before you even get to the third round. I'm just saying, like, we talk about help, we talk about competition. Somebody got to give real unbiased differences between, like, I get it. They'd be like, well, the Finals MVP, yo, he's the only player to not get Finals MVP while beating the person who won it in every statistical category possible and average 26 points per game. So, like, at some point, that got to get thrown out the window, and there's other things I can poke holes in that. Like, oh, like Kareem's the best player in 1980, and he didn't win Finals MVP. They'd be like, oh, well, because they don't know the context of why he didn't win Finals MVP. The point I'm saying is this: Steph Curry, that nigga, he the best. I'm sorry, he the best of the generation. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It was Jordan in the '90s, it was Kobe in the 2000s and the 2010s. It's Steph. Jokic got 2020s. It is what it is. But Steph, he top dog, man. That's just what it is, man. You see what happened, and guess what? He gotta do this. Like you see the plus minus, the on and offs when that nigga's not on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, he's the pulse, nigga. We live and die by Steph. And this nigga, look, you a kid because you keep laughing down there, lame ass nigga. Peace.
Yo, so I look at it tonight, and the first thing that I look at is, how many turnovers they had tonight. So in the first quarter, I think they had 5 turnovers. That was kind of a sloppy quarter. The second quarter, they kind of cleaned it up. They had 2 turnovers, right? So they had 2 turnovers and they had 40 points. Okay. In the third quarter, they had 6 turnovers and they had like 39 points. In the fourth quarter, they had 3 turnovers and I think they had 35 points, right? Tonight, like I was watching it, in the first quarter, it was kind of choppy. But then in the third quarter, they kind of picked it up. They kind of picked it up. They kind of picked it up, right? But the quarter was still kind of choppy, But the fourth quarter, um, they were playing much, much, much better defense, and then Brooklyn was just making bullshit at the end. Um, but Brooklyn was playing hard tonight, bro. Are they actually trying to
Yeah,
tank?
very no, very. They was playing very hard. And another thing is this: I really want Steve Kerr to play post with the players
Yeah,
he was playing with tonight and get him more reps because you can see he got that neck. The more reps he gets, the more comfortable he gets. The more
yeah,
he's a positive. Like post should be getting way more minutes. And there's no disrespect to Pods, but every time Pods is not in the game, and we play more GP2, and we play, and then we got a player that's producing like Paz as well, we do a lot better. I'm sorry, like I'm not saying that Paz. I'm just saying like the dynamic of the team is very different, and we get to see the greatness of the other players. I'm telling you, GP2 is still capable defender, point of attack, and he just does a
Yeah.
lot of things. He's very high IQ. And Post, man, that nigga is good, man. Post gonna be special, man. We just got to I just hope Kirk keeps playing him and not having moments where he's just not in the game. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
was phenomenal.
tonight, I was posting videos on YouTube and TikTok, you know what I'm saying? And when I was posting the videos, right, like you can tell like where my bias is, you know what I'm saying? It's Jimmy posting Steph, like but that's where a lot of the plays came from tonight. Quick bro. So I was reading an article today and they were talking about how Quentin Post was how he was kind of doing the thing or whatever, right? So Quentin Post was there, and I think he had 10 points tonight, 4 of 8. But there was a possession that Quentin Post had, right? And he played amazing defense, bro. Absolutely amazing defense. And the reason why it was amazing is not because it was under the basket, but he was on perimeter, right? Like he held up on the perimeter. Like he didn't jump at anything. He kind of just like gapped and recovered. You know what I'm saying? And he damn near blocked the shot. It looked like he blocked the shot, and I was so excited about that because he's a 7 footer and he's supposed to get fried in that play. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at that play and I was like, oh, but bro, like it feels like every game he's just progressively getting better and better and better. And
That's why I said reps, man. If he gets reps, I'm telling you, he's a positive. If he gets more reps and he gets his minutes up, it
yeah,
doesn't hurt us. Like he's not a defensive liability. Like the whole concept of people thinking, like, oh, he's the defense is an effort based thing, and then the little things that he may not naturally have or he don't know IQ wise. Guess what? He
yeah,
got two of the highest IQ defenders ever to teach him, which is Jimmy and fucking Draymond. So like,
there, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
There's this other play that I was looking at, right? And he I think he was kind he was kind of in the corner, right? And I actually clipped this play, right? So he easily could have just taken a shot, right? But instead,
The swing
I
pass, to the corner three to Steph.
no. I think he had like I think Cam Thomas was on him, right? I believe it was Cam Thomas. So Cam Thomas was on him, right? And instead of one, him passing, or worse, him shooting, he just went back down, back down, back down, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember
Right.
that. And then he drove onto his offhand. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Right. So is he right-handed or is he left-handed?
He's right-handed.
Yeah. So he just went to his right, and I was just looking at that play, and I was like, bro, you know how many big men can do that in the era, but just they just don't do it. They just pass to the perimeter.
Mm.
And once I seen him do that, bro, I was like, so you mean to tell me that we got a big? Not only can he shoot from the perimeter, right? And he's an amazing shoot. I think he shoot like something like 42% from three.
It's like
But he's put
48.
yeah, bro, but
Oh,
he's
that kid
like
is
putting
cooking,
people
man.
on his hip, bro.
No,
Like,
yeah, this is the best game he's played. I know he's had games where he's gone for like 18 and shit like
yeah,
that, but
Yeah,
both
his
ends of the
impact was
floor
crazy.
tonight,
His
it
impact
was
was crazy.
crazy. You know, and you know what you guys said, like as he's getting more reps, he's getting better, he's getting more comfortable.
yeah,
The one thing you notice with him, like the moment he stepped onto the floor, even when he was like involved in ball screens and he was at the top of the key, the kid was making a decision and a read, and he was more
Mhm.
often than not, he was making the right read right away.
Yes, it doesn't
That's the
take them
thing with
long.
him. It does
They
not.
got
And
trust in him. They have trust in
there
him.
was a play tonight where they ran a split action and then he came off of the second screen, he popped, and he could have just fired the three. It was like the right side of the arc, but he knew that Steph was just getting off of that rub. He was going to hit the side pocket three, and he just looked it off, and he found Steph as he came around. Steph banged it in the corner. Like it doesn't even the thing with him. It doesn't really matter like what action you put him in. If he's in the high post, if he's coming up and set a screen top of the key, wherever it is, his ability to make usually the right read is almost like you trust it right away. You
yeah,
just know he's gonna make that read, and that I think that and what you're seeing from him defensively on the other side of the floor, he stopped like a 2-on-1 fast break by himself tonight. That right there, the shooting is like, he's dead eye. It's real shooting. If you watch him in college, like it's legit. But the other stuff that he's doing, I think he's a lock to play. He's a lock to be in the rotation as we go into the playoffs. I don't see how you can sit this kid Irk. I know he's never been there and the lights might be bright and all this stuff, but
Nah,
what he adds on both sides of the
he has
floor, he has
IQ.
to be on the court.
He has to be on the court. Like if
Yeah,
He
but
Curry,
when
has
you
to be on the court.
say
I
It's
would
kind of absurd.
when you say the
tell
lights are
Looney
bright,
and Steph
right?
Curry.
So when you say the lights are bright, like give me an example of the things that he would not do. And hear me out on this. Give me an example of the things that he would have to do or would not do to not be on the court.
Okay, so let's say you get into a playoff situation, right? Obviously, it's first time in there, like it's a different situation, it's tense, and he's in there, and he's like his nervousness and his lack of experience, if that slows down his decision making because he's thinking twice about stuff, he's not like as decisive as making off of
Yeah,
read, off a screen.
he's clearly
He's not like his once he's coming off in action, like he's hesitant to shoot. Let's say he like misses a few shots, right?
Yeah.
Young player, let's say he misses like three threes in a row. Off the next action, he should let's say it's a wide open three, corner three, like the way he's doing some of the stuff on the off of the secondary stuff he's doing off of the split actions and he just pops flares out to the corner. Let's say he catches that ball in the playoffs and he's like, that's a shot he just needs to take because he's got the nearest defender's like 5, 6 feet away and he's second guessing it and he's not taking that shot. That's where it becomes a little bit of a problem. There's no way to really be able to guess that, anticipate that with the young kid. But what he does and what he's been doing, I don't see how you can't put him on the court. I think you got to just keep putting him on the court, man. I never would have thought that this kid and any rookie, like with what we're doing right now, and we're tightening up the rotations and all this stuff, that this kid would be on the court in the playoffs. But you can't deny what he's doing. It's remarkable.
Um I love his game, by the way. I'm a big fan of his game, obviously. When I was looking at him tonight, you know, and I'm talking about Quentin Post for a reason because 21 minutes tonight, and I'm just watching it. So Looney had 12 minutes. Quentin Post had 21. Draymond had 34 minutes tonight. Uh, but the fact that and to be honest with you, he made some really good defensive plays as well.
Really good defensive plays.
Some really good
Tomorrow,
defensive plays.
so Eric, you watch you do the rewatches in the morning, the next morning of the games.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Lock into his film tomorrow morning because I really do think this is the best game he's played in a Warrior uniform. It was remarkable what he did tonight. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because I was just looking at some other plays too, and he was kind of holding up on the perimeter as well. Um, I expected him to get fried. There was this play. I think it it was in the fourth quarter, and he was on the court, right? So I think I don't remember who. Oh, it was Cam Johnson, right? And you expect Cam Johnson to fry him. Plays great defense on the perimeter, forces a bad shot on Cam Johnson. They get a stop. I think the Dubs were up like at four at that one point. So it's stuff like that that I'm watching for because you do expect him to get fried. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
the fact that he just held up solid, and he gapped and he recovered. You know what I'm saying? Like the timing was perfect.
Yeah, I
And I
remember that
looked at
play.
that play because
It was on
bro,
the right arc.
yes, yes, yes. And I'm expecting him to get fried the entire play. And I was like, that's what I want to see. Not to say if he gets targeted in the playoffs, he can hold up. But he did play sound defense right there. He he played really sound defense right there. Now, when I think about Steph, bro, what can you say about Steph, bro? Seven threes tonight, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Brooklyn was playing ultra aggressive tonight. Ultra aggressive.
Brooklyn fucked up tonight, Eric, because they came out and they were doing some extra stuff,
Yeah.
especially off the ball with him. And New York kind of did it, but these guys were doing the most. They were really hacking at him.
Hmm.
And there was a play in the first quarter where he took a three and they just undercut his legs and they caught him on the arm as he went up and he
Yeah.
landed. So if basically it was like if you were to give him a no call right there, he traveled. And they didn't call the travel and they didn't call the foul. And the next play, they score, we inbound the ball, and he absolutely just chucks the fucking dude. I think it was Zaire Williams. He gets the tech. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Steve got the tech. And then he starts talking. So when he started running back down the floor before he threw that guy, he kind of had this little nod that he was kind of nodding to himself and looking at the Brooklyn bench. Once that happened, it was over, bro. It was game over. He was like, and then he comes down the floor, hits a little floater on the left side with his offhand, just kind of flips it up. He hits a guy with the hezi and just goes downhill. And you just saw from that point on, bro. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna lock in tonight." And you saw what he did. Hits the fucking crazy half court shot, but they roughed him up early. Hey man, these guys like has this been a thing in the league for a while that just because he looks a certain way and he's over there and he's shimmying and dancing on you and he looks cute with doing the shit that he's doing,
Yeah.
this dude is a fucking killer, bro. And every time that they test him, he usually comes out and he embarrasses somebody.
Moses Moody
That's just
tonight.
what he did
They
tonight.
gotta they gotta remain humble, man. They stay disrespecting the babyface assassin. I don't even like calling that nigga that, but like, goddamn, bro. Like, at some point, you just respect the nigga because he ain't out here to talk shit. He just want to have fun, cool. And I mean, you gotta respect it. Listen, like I said earlier, nobody has ever dominated the game at this stature. And do you know? All right, I don't know if y'all hoop, but like a 3 point shot it, it's not easy. Like, shooting at that rate, that clip, dominating the game from distance is hard as hell. Let me break it down to you in simpler terms. He's dominating the game from distance on the same equivalency as somebody who is a big man that dominates the game in the paint. Think of a
Yeah.
Giannis in the paint on a dominant level or a Shaq in the paint. The
Hmm.
difference is it's a lot more difficult. I am a lot smaller in a tall man's game, and I'm busting y'all asses, and y'all are scared to death of my threat of shooting. So you got to send 3-4. I am 6'2" and some change, and you send three people at me. Like, come
Hmm.
on now. Like, the only player I've ever seen where niggas, and this ain't necessarily because he's shooting prowess. This is because he's great and he a ball hawk. The only other player I've seen that had to get that type of, like, oh my god, on consistent is either Kobe or Steph. And the only
Yeah.
one to get MVP chance in other places and be like Warriors is Kobe. That's the only other player that when he went to Boston, they said MVP. Do you know how sacrilegious that is to be a Laker and go to Boston and say MVP? Meanwhile, you got other cities doing the same thing for Steph. Like, at some point, you got to be like, he's the people's champ. He's the people that it's just is so many so and so stands out there. They try to drown out like, nah, bro, Steph, you got to respect it. You can't just say I respect it in the realm of, oh, as long as he. You ever heard that saying? People want to see you do great, but not as better than them. Nah, it can't be that angle. It got to be, nah, it's okay to be honest. But you know what? Maybe this nigga really is on this level, or maybe he is a
Yeah.
little better. Because he look at how he's dominating. He doesn't have the sheer, and I'm not trying to give him the extra boost because he doesn't have the sheer athleticism. What I am saying is he's dominating it not only just as good, but better. And he's smaller, dude. That makes it that much harder. It makes it. It's like Isaiah Thomas leading the Celtics in 2017. I'm talking about not Zeke. I'm talking about the other one that's like real short, the light skin one. That's like him leading his team to the finals 2 straight years in a row. They're gonna be like, bro, you know how difficult it is? That nigga little as hell.
Hmm.
So at some point, man, you gotta give respect. We're in for a treat. I just hope we can, I just hey, I hope everything works out. And as far as our matchup, I hope we can get the 4th seed and Houston get the 5th seed and Grizzlies drop down more. I would love for that to be our first round matchup, and I like that side of the bracket. So yeah,
Yeah. So, Jan, what up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, girl, I was just so happy about the game. The win was well deserved. Uh, I'm so proud of Quinn Post. It's so good to have a big that can space the floor. And now he's playing defense. You can see that he's moving his feet. He's not jumping on the pump fakes anymore. So that's a good thing to have, and he can shoot the three. So amazing. Uh, I want to give a shout out to Gary Payton. Oh my God, that guy is so good. He's so good. He can defend. I trust him shooting a corner three way more than I trust Buddy Hill. I don't want to see Buddy Hill playing 22 minutes.
Buddy Bricks, Buddy Bricks, Buddy Bricks,
nah, for real
I
though.
don't want to. I
I
don't
don't
want
want to
to
see
see
Buddy
that
shoot.
guy
Buddy
playing
Bricks' ass.
minutes.
Or do
That's
you
why.
want to talk about Buddy tonight or not?
Why is he playing 22 minutes? We
Um,
we have Gary Payton.
Because this is a
listen,
win, but
listen. So the thing about Buddy is this. He was 0-8 tonight, right? But I'm not even going to focus on the shooting. But he needs to lock in on on the other shit because you
Exactly.
cannot make you can't. It's almost like the game is too fast for him, and he's just out there running. You cannot make those type of mistakes that you're making. They
But you talking about like
For
the mistakes?
example,
You talking
Clay
about the
Thompson.
mistakes on like the offensive end or the defensive end?
both,
Because this
both,
dude,
both of
Yeah,
them.
this dude was
listen.
running in transition down the court tonight,
I just
Yeah.
want
and
to give
he
you an
had a
example.
layup on his offhand, and he threw it into a double team, and they went the other way, and they scored.
Clay Thompson used to have some off nights shooting wise, but we
Yeah.
loved Clay because on defense he was playing defense. He was trying. He was lacking up like his the person who was guarding. But Buddy Hill doesn't do it. So when he's not shooting well, he can't grab the board. He can't defend. So there is no reason really for him to play 22 minutes.
Hmm.
Like try him out. Like 15 minutes. You're not playing good. Okay, Gary Payton come in.
I mean,
Jan, I'm gonna be
Buddy's not
honest
gonna
with you.
change. He's not
Jan,
gonna
I'm
change.
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
At this point, with the sample size that we have of Buddy Hield, if he misses his first four shots, take him off the
exactly.
court and don't bring him back
I agree. I
because
You
agree.
know why?
he's not gonna do fuck else on the court.
I
You
agree.
know why? Once he starts missing shots, right? You can see it just seep into the rest of his game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, come on. Like there's other things that you can do to not just have your game just plummet. You know what I'm saying? So that was my biggest problem with him. That's my biggest problem with him.
And Eric, he never does any of that stuff. It's almost like his shot has, like you said, his shot has to fall
Yeah.
in order for him to even like lock in a little bit on
Right.
anything else.
But that's
And
not
that
how
just we just can't have that whatsoever.
it should be.
He's
Sometimes,
he can tank your lineups in the playoffs. I don't want to see him on the court if he's not making a
Yeah.
shot.
yeah.
I feel like they need to run plays for him though.
They
One
do run plays
They do
for
run
him.
plays for him.
that's
He
much.
just picking up crumbs really, and none of his shots are like wide open really.
What do you mean? He literally will
He
fire a
What?
was
corner three. No one's even in his area
he was
code, and
able
it hits
Most
the
of his
side of
shots
the
are
rim.
wide
What you talking
open.
about?
Most
most
of
of
his
his
shots
shot
are
are
wide
He
wide
open.
takes
I
open.
wide open shots.
I just watched the game. I only saw one wide open shot. I don't know.
He
Oh,
takes a ton of wide open shots.
Yeah,
Nah,
he
there's a
takes a
couple
lot
of
of wide
times where
open
he's
shots.
wide open and he'll
I
make it.
mean,
But that's what I mean though. Like he's not a steady hand. And the funny thing is that especially like late career Clay, whenever that shot's not falling, like you see it start to seep into the rest of his game. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm
um I just sucks, bro.
like sometimes as a shooter, you just need to like play some defense, and then they're gonna reward you because you play some good defense. So you don't. It's not always the offensive end of the game that will get you back in the game. Sometimes it's the defense. The way you're playing, the way you're giving effort in the defensive end can turn into offense. But for him, when he's not shooting well, he's not trying on defense. Like it's, what are you doing? We're playing 4 and 5 now. You know, he doesn't need to play 22 minutes if he's not trying on defense.
I
That's
mean,
like,
he was like this. Like the last playoffs he played, bro. He was like that last season, bro. Like this nigga did nothing last year, bro. I'm just speaking facts. Like
and I like him because sometimes he makes some threes that that are clutch
he
sometimes.
sold.
But
He literally sold last year. The Sixers he played in. He played the Sixers. Okay, he played for the Sixers. He sold everything, bro. Zero. Like got 10 points. He got 5 points every game. Couldn't do shit.
But he did have a game where he went
Yeah,
off.
one
Like
game.
he'll get you one game
One.
where you like, damn, buddy going crazy, he carrying
But yeah.
or with some weird shit. And then I don't know what
Do you,
happens after. You
what's your
can't depend
what's
on
your
him.
thoughts on this? You guys are gonna take the Denver Nuggets for the playoffs. Do you what do you think the score's gonna be? Like you take it to Game 7 or like y'all give them BTA?
Wait, what you
I
say?
said
You
I
think it?
said
No, so
I said
I
right
don't. I
now
think Denver
right
Nuggets
now
is
the
going to get.
playoffs for the
I think
playoffs
the Nuggets are going to get the second seed.
right now for the yeah
I still don't think the Lakers are going to get the second seed. I think it's going to be either Grizzlies or
The Grizz are gonna drop. The
Nuggets.
Grizz are gonna drop because Jaren Jackson's not here.
Okay, touche.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like what do you guys think about the Denver Nuggets?
But I don't. I
Playoffs?
don't want Grizzlies versus Houston though. I don't need no Grizzlies versus Houston. That shit's a weak ass series. Both them teams deserve to go home early.
Exactly. No, they're
So
not
I
doing
don't
shit.
want them. I don't want. Yeah, like I feel like it's a waste of moving on for either of them teams to make it. So I don't want to see them go against each other. I need to see somebody, a vet team, somebody that's worth like where it makes sense,
Yeah.
even from a ratings perspective, where they both them niggas go home. Both of them go home. Now if one of them get a good matchup and they win, cool. But both of them don't need to be going against each other. Nah, y'all need to have a threat where y'all both
Yeah,
can
but
go.
for right, yeah,
Just because I don't believe
but
in
for
it.
right now, you guys in the playoffs are literally against the Denver Nuggets for right now. So like, where do y'all think the game's gonna go up to?
That ain't gonna
No,
last. That's not gonna last though. Yeah,
y'all
we
going
gonna
to the
move
fifth
up.
seed. Y'all gonna go to fifth seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
So we're probably gonna go against
The
either
Rockets, no, Houston
Houston
or Grizz.
or the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies are literally not good, bro. That's one thing for sure.
Hey, they got a lot of young
A lot of
boys that
depth.
like to get up and down the court, but we gonna get their ass together though. My thing is this, Urkel. What I hate the most is our slow starts. I still
That's
feel like
what I
we
don't
gotta snap
like.
out
Like the slow start just pissed
them
me
slow
off.
starts. Like we can't be behind the eight
Y'all
ball.
need you
Like
don't
we
have to,
gotta
but
stop
y'all don't
that
have
shit.
Jonathan Kaminga. That's one thing
You
for
know
sure.
what's crazy is that like since Jimmy has been here, I don't necessarily see it that much. I mean, yeah, sure, we had a really slow start tonight.
It was only 2 games. It was only 2 games. It's been
So I
so
haven't
far.
seen like a lot of
Straight.
games, right? But over the last I would say 3 or 4 years, like we're notorious for slow starts. But I think we scored like 15 in that first quarter. Like they looked drunk in that first quarter, and then they had 40 in that second quarter. And Steph went on like a little run, bro. I think I even clipped it too, where I think he had like three threes or something like that. So slow starts, yeah, I completely get it, but that wasn't too bad. Wasn't terrible.
Yeah, but I think tonight, like
Nigga,
tonight,
it's
they
against the
went
Knicks,
down.
man. We shouldn't have. If we're gonna have a slow start, it need to be a worthy win. That's just
There's a
my
difference between a slow start and like what happened. Like tonight, they fell down 20 in the
Yeah,
first quarter, and I don't think this team earlier in the year falling down 20 in the first quarter from what we saw was going to come back and win. But guess what? Like
yeah,
good teams, they erase big deficits against bad teams quickly, and that's exactly what they did. They were already down 5 at halftime, and they actually cut it closer to that before. So I don't. I think it's just a totally different team. Earlier in the season, they probably still down like 14, 15 at half, and then they're going to need a surge in the third, and we weren't even getting that this year. So
I'm curious to see what we're gonna look like with Kaminga in the mix. I just hope it don't take away from post minutes. I think Pods and Buddy need to sacrifice those minutes, not post.
Buddy, and Gee specific. So
And
Gee's been playing really well, but there's a there's a
Gee got to
pretty
sacrifice the minutes too.
there's a
I don't
pretty
want him to be
like
on the.
big difference in terms of ability between Gee and Jonathan Kuminga. It's Gee's a great connector, but Kuminga's a different level.
I need to see.
Kuminga is
I need to see
Dante. Kuminga
Jimmy
is
too, Kaminga.
he's the X factor this year because
I need Kaminga, GP2, and Post to be getting the minutes. Them three.
there is
Fuck the other niggas.
what we want to see is his role be simplified on defense because I think now we have the with shortened rotations and with where he'll play next to Jimmy, we have the ability for him to be a lot more on ball on defense, and I think that's
True,
only
true.
a strength of his. If you look at even the numbers this year, like it's players are having a tough time scoring on him. I mean, outside of the mid range and outwards, they're shooting like 34% on him. So you put him on the ball, he can do some stuff. He simplifies role on defense, and then on offense, you already know what he is, and he just cuts. If he's just cutting, constantly cutting, with Jimmy with the ball in his hands and Steph doing his thing, it can get really scary for some teams, man. This guy's the X factor. You have him guard. He's the best athlete on
He
the
gonna be the
team.
reason why we beat the Rockets in the
He's the
first
best
round.
athlete on the team, and he can already guard ball. So you
The
put him out
Rockets are gonna
there,
fumble, bro. The Rockets.
it's gonna be man. He's the X factor.
Kaminga, you see them young boys can't do nothing with when we got Kaminga out there. They hate Kaminga, but I'm telling you, the Rockets is they
They're
gonna have
gonna
to see us
fumble
and they gonna
so
be like,
bad.
bro, we
Watch.
got.
Dylan Brooks is gonna
I
poke.
can't wait.
Dylan Brooks is gonna poke Steph Curry, and then Steph Curry is gonna drop 50 somehow. Of course.
Urkel, I don't know if they would do this. I don't know if Steve would do this more than anybody else, but the lineup I want to see them play is Steph, Jimmy, Kuminga, Draymond, and Post.
Man, what?
That's
Listen,
beautiful.
that's a
That's
lineup.
beautiful.
That's what I want
Woo!
to see on the court, closing
Beautiful
game.
right there.
Steph at the one, Jimmy at the two,
Steph,
Kaminga at the
Jimmy,
three.
Kuminga, Draymond, and Vuce home.
Pose.
It's a wrap.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um, I want to see that as well. How do you think that would hold up defensively?
I think it would be fine.
Great. Just
Kuminga
look,
would be your
we got
POA,
yeah.
and and
Ooh,
Jimmy is just going to be like your wing. He's going to be in the wing in passing. He's going to come up. to the wing on
Yeah.
passing lanes, and then you're gonna let Jimmy kind of float in passing lanes and guard the wing off ball. And because I think the kid can hold, unless the kid shows you that for some reason he can't hold up defensively anymore at the five, I don't personally see that happening because he has so much insulation around him in that lineup with a Draymond, with a Kuminga,
Mm-hmm.
delaying ball
Mm-hmm.
penetration in the shot clock, and you have Jimmy out there in the wing. I think it's gonna work.
This nigga know his shit. He ain't lying.
That's what I want to see out there.
You know? And even then, you still got GP2 in the cut. You know what I mean? I just wish we had like a Jordan Poole. That'd be really great. I'd be like we win the chip for sure. But unfortunately, we don't have a Jordan Poole, and I wish we had a Bones Highland, somebody that's
Y'all,
a
Bones
microwave.
Highland, man. Yo, on Bones Highland now.
What I'm saying is a microwave bucket getter. You know, like for example, that really so when we had Jordan
Yeah.
Poole mixed with GP2 in our lineups, if you ever noticed, GP2 was the defense and Jordan Poole was the offense. And if you put them together, that's a great player, but obviously can't. So you had to use their strengths and stuff like that. So for all the weaknesses that Jordan Poole had on defense, Gary Payton II will cover it up. And then
Well, we
the
had Ty
deficiencies that
Jones.
Gary
We had Ty Jones. I don't know why we
and
let
then
him go.
and then and then Gary Payton's deficiencies, Jordan Poole bucket at will. That was a beautiful thing to have. So I just do wish I wish we had some type of nigga like Jordan Poole because it's nice to have a baby Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Like a person that can just go off. You know what I mean? Like wow. So it's a matchup nightmare. So I do wish we had that, but hey, we still doing good. Steph Curry's playing him at the optimum level. People were saying my boy was washed, but he just need a little bit of help and he back to normal.
You know
So
what's interesting about this game tonight? Um, I'm watching. I'm watching the lineups tonight. So 21 for GP2, 23 for Buddy, 21 for Post, 24 for Guy Santos, 12 for Looney. Pods played 1 minute. Someone's going on with his back, but that's essentially like a 9 man rotation. You know what I'm saying? So now when Kaminga comes back, who's going to be the odd man out?
I think it's
Gee,
Gay. Yeah, Gay Santos is the odd man out. Yeah,
You think he's going to
Gee,
be the odd man out?
Gee is
yeah,
is
he's the
is
It's
odd
gonna
gonna
man
be
lose
out.
Buddy.
probably all of his minutes, but there's
Buddy
still
Hill.
more minutes to
I do like
allocate.
his
So
Buddy
I
effort.
Hill
think
better
it's
fucking
Buddy,
fix his
Yeah.
Chinese, bro. He's getting shipped
Buddy need
over.
to go.
He's cooked. He's done.
and then
The
I
thing is,
think so I
the
think
thing
if you
is,
add up Buddy, you add up Gee, and then you look at like Looney's spot minutes, and if you're just gonna just go with this kid, then I think those are all of Kuminga's minutes right there. And you
yeah, the
just
thing
play
is,
Looney here and there situationally against
yeah,
certain
the thing
matchups.
is, I understand what everyone is saying about Body Hill, but if guys like Moses Moody are not hitting their shot from the 3 point line, Body Hill is always going to play because we need that spacing. I understand what everyone is saying
That's a
about
fact.
he's not making shot, but regardless of when he's not
That's
making
how.
shot,
That's why
Shout
Curry's
out
gonna always
Moses
play
guys
him.
guys
Moody,
are still
man.
guarding him
Moses Moody is
like he's
playing
not
very
39.
well. We're not giving him props a lot. Moses Moody has been very good on
No.
defense,
Moses Moody has been
offense.
very good, but his
Moses
3 point shot
Moses
has
plays
been
well
bad.
because of his effort,
His 3 point
but
shot has been
sometimes his
bad.
shooting does be sometimey though, and we need shooting. And it can't just be Steph. But that's why I say we play post more. That nigga can shoot.
But yeah,
So
post can shoot. But the thing is that post, there's some certain matchups that
yeah,
post.
he's a front court player. He's not a.
At
I
this
get it.
Yeah,
point,
there's some
look,
matchups that post
at this
struggles
point, if you
against.
go with him and you're bringing him in because somebody's cold, and you bring him in and he's also cold, you have to go with the first guy that was cold. That's just what it is, and that's Moses.
Yeah, but the thing is, you look at today's game. I mean, in the first quarter, Moses Moody was missing his shots, and he had to go out of the rotation, and that's why Buddy Hill plays. So the thing is, Moses Moody has to play very well if you don't want Buddy Hill in the rotation. But as long as Moses Moody keeps missing his shots, I'm sorry, but Buddy Hill is always going to play because they need that spacing. Aside from Buddy Hill, there's nobody out there that they guard like an elite 3 point shooter. That's the way. Even when he's not making a shot, people still guard him. He still creates that form of. He still has that
So why
gravity.
we pick up Kevin Knox? What was the point of picking up Kevin Knox? Why we didn't just go get a shooter or something like
Yeah,
that?
I really don't know why we got Kevin Hart.
I
Because
mean,
right now,
Kevin,
what we need is
No
shooting.
no disrespect.
we had to fill roster spots, so they gave him a 10 day because they had to give him a 10 day.
Yeah, right now
Y'all
what we
could have
Moses,
need.
got Bones Highland.
Right now, what we
look
need is
at this
shooters. We
point,
need shooters on the court.
Moses Moody has shown that he's having a good season and he stepped up since his minutes have gone up. Buddy is shooting a career low from three this year. He's been in the league for a really long time, and he's shooting a career low next to Steph Curry. That's a problem. You should not be shooting a career low when you're out there next to Steph Curry. That's a fucking joke. Moses Moody is shooting like 38.5% from three. If Moses is cold and they're bringing him in for spacing, if he's in there and he's hitting a shot, you keep him in there. If he's not hitting a shot, everything else trickles down from that. You got to yank him. He's a black hole on defense, and he doesn't give any. He really is not even making extra passes on offense either, because he's hunting his shot because he's trying to break out of his funk, and he just keeps fucking clanking. At this point, there's not much you can do. If you got a guy out there that's cold, Pods is cold, Moody is cold, you bring him in there. If he's cold too, you move on. You recycle the rotation. Can't have him out there. Man's tanking lineups, man. It's
Yeah.
simple basketball.
Who, buddy?
Yeah,
Yeah. He was like a negative 11 tonight. Yeah, but he it's not just the shooting, man. It's more than the shooting. I must admit. And I was high on him like when the season started because there was some movement stuff that he was doing and he was fucking up the defense. But you see, like once he's not making shots, he's like one of these guys where he ain't making shots. It trickles down into everything that he's doing on the court. So it's not like you're getting defense or anything like that. So there's sometimes he'll make plays and all of that, but it it just trickles into his game way, way, way too much for my liking. What do you think about Steph's game tonight? You didn't even really talk about Steph tonight.
He just needs to. I mean, he don't need to do nothing. I think he's in a different. I think he's in a space where he's so untouchable right now. Like his rhythm is there. He looks a little bit. I don't know if he's still having the same issues, but his health looks a little bit better, or they're managing it better, or something. Um, I just think he's in a space where he just can't be fucked with right now. He can't be stopped. He's really the perfect security blanket. I just feel like, obviously, I just feel like he's one of those players where if you just get him a little bit of help, he can do the rest. It's words, no disrespect, but word to Kobe. He don't need much. Just give him some serviceable, hey, help. Give him some serviceable help. He ain't needed no, all the time, other or franchise level talent players around him. Just give him some serviceable help. Somebody that know how to play their role, do their job, go and do their job. And I promise you, he gonna do his part to bring us to the promised land. And so I think he's doing really well. I think tonight he balled his ass off. That three at the very end of the half obviously was a momentum boost. He's incredible for that shot. But I mean, you ain't surprised. I mean, like shit, like niggas be mad on the bench. It's like nigga, I mean,
All right.
at some
What
point you
if I
gotta like
told you? Let me say
elevate
this,
Alonzo
right?
Mourning.
Let me say this. When the season started, right? And he was running around and all of this stuff, right? And he wasn't playing well and all of that. You know what the problem was? You didn't really have people to give him the ball. You understand what I'm saying? He was running around and he wasn't getting the ball. You know what the difference is now? Now he's getting the ball. Jimmy Butler had 6 assists tonight. Draymond and Jimmy had 16 assists uh, between the two of them. So Jimmy and Draymond accounted for half of the assists. Steph had 4, right? Steph is just getting the ball now. Like that's literally what the difference is. He really wasn't on the ball heavy tonight, and he had 40 points. You know what that means? He's getting the fucking ball.